Hello and welcome again, everybody. My name is McDonald's guy, and in the last one, in the final one, we completed everything. I was just about to actually uninstall this when I looked at the achievements. It said 3 out of 5 endings completed. So I uh, I pretty much loaded this game up and I checked the endings. Now, as you can tell, we have a secret locked ending right here that wasn't there before. As you can tell, we have all these other ones unlocked. So, with that, what is this right here? So I did a little, I, I looked it up to see how I could go about it. So basically, just gonna start a whole brand new game, and what you want to do, as soon first once you first play it, you just go ahead and just skip all this. We're just gonna skip all this. Skip, just skip all through it all. We don't have to read it. We don't have to look at it. Basically, we're just gonna wait until it gets to the choices. Then from there, we'll see what happens. But like this part here, you don't have to read through it. You don't have to do anything. If you want the 100% guarantee, you can just skip it. Skip all of it. It's it's the same thing. You're playing the same game, going for the other ending. So you just skip all this, and thankfully it stops when it comes up to your choices. Now, again, you'll see this choice here: ignore or pick her up. You'll pick her up. Then once you've chosen your choice, skip on through until she starts to attack you. Now, again, you have two choices: escape or confront. You want to escape from the cat. Then, as you can see down below, you notice something different. Other than the uh, the previous ending we had before in one of my earlier videos. It is then that I noticed a path I haven't seen before. Should I take this path? Then you'll be, once again, after that little dialogue, yes, I should take this path. No, it looks dangerous. Again, we're going for this brand new ending that we do not know what it is. Well, I did research. It's a pretty much a true ending, but so you want to click yes. Yes, I should take this path. I should face with courage whatever I could find there or here. Oh well, 2:57 a.m. I don't know how long I have been running, but it's been some time since I last heard either the voice or meows, much to my relief. I finally stopped placing my hands on my knees, feeling that I am on the edge of fainting. I breathe through my mouth, trying to fill my lungs with as much air as I can, while my legs hurt as if they had been hammered mercilessly. But this pain does not bother me because I'm finally safe, at least temporarily. I'm still lost in the dark forest, but surrounded by this raw air, but they don't feel nearly as bad as before. I look down at the ground while trying to catch my breath. Damn, how can I get out of here? I asked, confused and frustrated. I felt really anguished. I closed my eyes and let out a long sigh. I have to calm myself. Easy, you can get out of this forest. Have a little rest and then continue walking. I give myself a moment, I needed it. Open my eyes, and at that moment I see there is something below me. I almost step on it. Because of the darkness and my desperation, I had not noticed it before. Confused, I got a small hand. Confused, I note a small hand that comes out of the ground. It's a human hand, at least in form. With only a glimpse, I could tell that it was a toy made of metal. Without hesitation, I bent down and started to dig it out. Slowly, my hands moved away the earth that hid a toy, only to discover that it was the figure of a knight. It's dirty and very worn down. Must be a very old toy. I raised the toy to my eyes, examining it carefully. Lillian, pretty much the way you can uh get through all this is you have to go back and play the game to get every single ending, and then once you have every single ending, well, that's what I did anyway. As once you get every single ending, you can uh get this ending, but I think you just have to do like uh the Lillian and Ashley ending. I'm not sure. Safe, just take the safer route and just do every single ending. It'll be worth it, trust me. L- Lillian? I read out loud. The toy had written on its back. Must be the name of the person whom it belonged to. I look I look at it carefully, trying to think who Lillian might be, but naturally the effort was just a waste of time. In the end, I have no other alternative than, than to continue walking in the dark. My break is over. Without delay, I move my feet and start to walk. This time there is no need to run. I don't know where I might end up, but I know that I don't want to be here. 3:17 a.m. What is this place? I ask myself when I arrive at a clearing in the forest. Only a few minutes since I found the toy have passed. There is something strange about this place, but not because it's dark and oppressive as the rest of the forest. It is actually the opposite. I somehow find it nostalgic, for lack of better word. The atmosphere here is pure and kind, as if it were a sanctuary from the darkness. I shake my head confused, but I don't give it any more thought. It may only be that I'm too far away from the cat, and that's why the curse is weaker here. At least we get like a little like curse-free area. But of course, it's probably the same repeat of the moon and the cabin and everything like that. But I could be wrong. At least I can see the night sky. The full moon shines elegantly, surrounded by a blanket of darkness and stars. A beautiful image, but there is something strange about it. How weird, wasn't there a half moon tonight? I said to myself as I look at the moon and try to remember a vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it's not important. The moon will not come to save me. I lowered my sight. It was then I noticed that there was a cabin in the clearing. It was hidden under the shade of the trees nearby. That's why I didn't see it before, I think. The cabin looks old and worn down, even depressing, but if I'm lucky, there may be someone there. I may not have managed to escape, but I could wait for the sunrise in the cabin. I am sure that when the night ends, so will my concerns. Without wasting any more time, I decided to enter the cabin. I opened the old door slowly, observing that no one is waiting for me on the other side. Apparently, it is empty. Now, if this becomes like a longer video, I will shorten it up for 30 minutes, like 20 to 30 minutes, So bear with me on this, and I might do it a all ending video as well. I might not. Who knows? The atmosphere is quiet. The atmosphere is quiet. It's a sad silence, as if the place had forgotten by all. As soon as I put my feet into the cabin, curiosity takes control of me, and ex- an inaccessible desire to explore the place is born in me. After all, it seemed to be the most interesting thing I could do at that moment. Although I doubt it, although I doubt it can beat the excitement of running for my life. Thank God. Inside there is not much special. The first thing I notice is that it does not have many of the modern commodities such as electricity, telephone, or water pipes. Everything is rustic. It seemed that it seemed that place was even older than it appeared to be, as impressive as that sounds. In the living room there is a fireplace. With curiosity I looked inside of it, but there was only ash. Lee I made it funny. No one had used no one had used it in a long time. At the table, I see that there were three empty plates. Three empty plates, huh? It was as if the family that lived here was getting ready to eat, except that there was no food for them. Really, great observation, Captain. Great after great observation there. I then decide to enter the rooms. The first one has a double bed. There's not much else there. I saw just a wardrobe and a chest of drawers made of wood, yet both were empty. If there were ever clothes in them, they must have had disappeared with the time. Then I got to the second room. In in this in this the bed is smaller. I guess only one person used it. The first thing I notice is that there are toys on the first floor. Figures of animals made of wood, also some marbles and a rag doll. Whoever lives here, or better said lived here, did not seem to have great interest in order. However, I can imagine is that is very important after all this time. Okay. My first impression is that the room belonged to a girl. At first sight, the room appeared to have nothing special, but after checking the place better, I found a notebook. I observed the notebook with curiosity and opened it to the first page. Everything is fuzzy, but from what little I managed to understand, it seemed to be a diary. All the pages are worn down and the writing is so blurred I can't understand almost anything. I go through every page until I find a fragment that was strangely preserved. Today, Dad returned home with a toy. It was a knight in silver armor, as in fairy tales. I can't even describe how happy I felt when I saw it. Okay, Lillian. I immediately ran to him, gave him a strong hug. This toy must have been expensive, but he said that the blacksmith owed him a favor. Interesting, Lillian, interesting. When I finished reading, I realized it was talking about the same toy that I have in my hands. I kind of figured that out, put two and two together. You must be Lillian, I said, speaking to the diary without waiting for an answer. Then my curiosity led me to check the other pages till I again found a legible fragment. It was right at the end of the diary, many pages away from the day in which she got this toy. Oh, this hair or something in my ear. Mom woke me up suddenly in the middle of the night. She and Dad seem to be alerted. It's not like when they fight, but without a doubt something is happening to them. Mom told me to pack only what is necessary and prepare to leave. Uh-oh. There was no time to even talk about it. Why do we have to leave? I mean, that's every kid's question. It's very late and I'm sleepy. I want to stay in bed. That's 100% of every human on this planet. After that, the diary ends abruptly without having even scrawls on the other pages. Oh man, it was abandoned at that. It was abandoned as this house was without looking back. It sounds rather sad, but it seemed that they had an important reason to do so. It was then that I suddenly heard the sound of footsteps inside of the cabin. My heart freezes at the moment. I don't know why, but an incredible fear invades me. The room's door slowly begins to open, only to reveal the person behind it. Eh? Hi, Lillian, exclaimed a confused girl dressed in black who looked more or less my age. She has an extraordinary beauty with golden hair and blue eyes. She is surprised to see me, but not more than I was. Is it possible that there is another person caught in this cursed forest? Why are you here? The girl asked me. Her blue eyes set their gaze on me. At first, she does not seem angry, but later her expression becomes more aggressive. What are, what were you doing? She narrows her eyes as if trying to look inside of me. Sorry, I saw this cabin and I felt the urge to explore the inside. I responded immediately. I didn't think it would bother anyone. The cabin seemed abandoned long ago. I'm so nervous that I start to sweat. After saying that, the room is surrounded by an awkward silence. The girl looks at me in silence for a few seconds before suddenly laughing. I see, you must be the knight who I was calling before, she said with a sweet smile. I blinked surprised. You were the voice that I heard inside my head. It's hard to believe what I just heard. I remember that the voice was calling me to a place, but that evil cat would not let me pass. The girl laughed softly before nodding a couple of times. Yes, that was me. While speaking, while speaking, she looks me in the eyes with tenderness. I feel something warm in my heart just from seeing that look of hers. I actually wanted you to come to this place, but I don't know why you started to run in the opposite direction. The girl looks a little sad after saying that. However, she quickly recovers her smile. That's why I went out looking for you. I would have never imagined that you would end up here. Me either. Yep, I'm gonna die again. I hope not. I was just walking without knowing where I was going, looking for the way out of this forest. I replied sincerely. I guess I'm lucky, but there's something in her voice that I don't like. Anyway, if it comes from a girl so sweet, I should be good. At that moment, I noticed that the girl never stopped staring at me. Her eyes con- oh my god, contemplate with me so much adoration that I feel both flattered and uncomfortable. Take a step backwards because of my anxiety, but she instantly takes a step forward. Brave Knight, Brave Knight, there is something I need to ask you, the girl unexpectedly said. I don't know if that is the appropriate way of addressing me, but I cannot deny it. I cannot deny that I like it. Alright now, what is it? Axel, this is why you're going to die several times. I gulped shortly after asking. My heart beats fast. Then the girl goes one step further and then another. She is now so close I can smell her faint scent. It seems that she did not know the concept of personal space, neither did Ashley. It was then that I suddenly heard something hit the ground. Did she just stab me? The surprise makes us both silent. At that moment, I realized something that should be in my hand was no longer there. Unwillingly, I dropped the night toy. My anxiety made me clumsy. That, said the girl after a short silence. The look in her eyes had changed completely. She is astounded. Astonished, suddenly something had stolen her breath. The blue eyes are no longer concentrated on me, but look down at something that is on the floor. Where did you find that? The girl asked, astonished. Astounded. I do not know how to react. I just silently bent down to pick up the toy. Then I offer it to her kindly. After hesitating for a moment, she snatches it from my hands. Rude. It seemed to it seemed to be something very precious to her. Rude. I found it buried in the forest. I replied kindly. I see how she embraces it with such tenderness that makes me smile. I mean, she's okay. I'm not going that way. I guess that you must be Lillian. She nods. Yes, my name is Lillian. She then returns her gaze towards my face. Her eyes reflect a shy and pure kindness. Thank you, she said timidly. My name is Axel, and you don't have to thank me. Even 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 if couldn't escape, it seems that I would have some company. If all goes well, we only have to wait until the sun rises. I give one more look at Lillian before she stabs me in the back. The first thing that is noticeable is her great beauty. But after seeing more carefully, I notice that there is something more. Its presence is a little strange. She blinks after realizing I am looking at her. Immediately I avert my sight nervously only to hear her laugh. You're the girl who lived in this house. Is that right? I asked, steeling myself for what she was going to answer. How is it that you're still in this place? I gulp. Perhaps are you some kind of ghost or something like that? Lillian looks me in the eyes with tenderness. Oh boy. Do I look like a scary ghost? Like blah 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 blah? Vampire joke, she said playfully. I, I, I immediately reply, saying no with a shake of my head. You're right. I lived in this cabin for a long time with my family, but that is now a thing of the past. Could you tell me about that? I asked, guided by my curiosity without thinking that it might be something personal. Lillian closed her eyes and thought about it for a moment. I could, but only if you promise to help me before listening to it. Oh boy, she said, looking at me later with puppy eyes, quietly begging for my approval. I cannot stop thinking that this girl is adorable. But something does not convince me. Promise to help you, I said without much energy. Before promising that, I need to know what kind of help you want from me. My words are firm. I don't want her to ask later for my soul or to drink my blood. Blah, 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 blah. Lily makes a childish and annoyed face for a couple of seconds. I just want a bit of your energy, Knight. Oh? If you give it to me, then I will respond to all your questions. After saying that, she gives a tender look towards me. I do not understand what she means by energy. It's not like I'm a battery, but I do have many questions that I would like to ask. I doubt for a moment before sighing with resignation. It seems there is no other way out. Okay, but how will I do that? I ask, looking at her confused. Lillian smiles, unexpectedly full of joy. It It is very easy. You just need to kiss me, Knight. Mwah. There's your kiss. Now go away. She responded as if it wasn't anything special. Did I hear well? Kiss her. I lost my breath just from thinking about it. Seems that coming to this forest had been a good idea after all. I suddenly feel Lillian caressing my cheek with one hand. I turn to see her face, only to discover that she is very close to me. Oh, hi. Instantly I blush, but shortly after I notice something strange. Her body feels cold. I don't know how to explain it, but her presence is strangely faint. The texture of her skin is nice, but at the same time, weak. Lillian smiles while she looks me in the eyes with a mischievous face. I still must reward you for giving me back my toy, she said gently while approaching her lips to mine slowly, savoring every moment. I couldn't do anything to stop her. Soon I feel her lips against mine. Fell. A failure. At that moment I felt as if I had been possessed. Oh boy. My desires take control of my body, forcing me to kiss her passionately, as if it were lovers seeing each other after a very long time. I closed my eyes. I didn't need to see, just feel the love from her lips. Ow! Jesus, that's kind of scared me. However, the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with a stabbing pain. Stabby, stabby, stabby! As if someone had stabbed needles of ice along my back. Without thinking, I break the kiss and move away from her. Well, what did you do? She stabbed me. I got stabbed, I asked, giving an astonished look at Lillian. I'm expecting Yuri to just pop up like, I want to put your skin in. I want to take your skin and wrap it around my skin. I love, I love you so much. What was happening to me? I feel cold, as if she had stolen half of the heat from my body. I also feel heavy. Kathunk. You don't need to fear. I just took a portion of your energy as we agreed, answered Lillian, looking at me with puppy eyes that begged me not to get angry with her. Don't worry, you'll soon feel better, she added shortly after. I become silent just from seeing her. I could not be angry with someone like her. Then I sighed, leaving my anger and concerns with my breath. Soon after that, I noticed that Lillian does nothing more than look at me tenderly, waiting for me to say something. I was It was then that I realized something. Suddenly the presence of Lillian becomes heavier. Eh? I exclaimed with curiosity. Before, she felt almost transparent, but now I see her with solid colors. As if before she was just a reflection, and now she was real. Did you notice my knight? She asked, full of joy. Thanks to you, I can now materialize myself completely. Before my Before my presence was partial, dim, but now I have more power thanks to you, Lillian explained, giving me a smile. Now I understand why she wanted my help. But after hearing that, one thing is clear to me. She is not human after all. With that, do you, do you have everything you wanted? I asked, a little disgusted. I can't say that I'm happy after the kiss. I still have some difficulty standing. Lilia responds with a nod. Yes, I will now respond to your questions, knight, kind knight. Her words are honest, just like the sweet look in her eyes. Well, it seems that I can trust her. After looking at her for a moment, my lips finally move. What are you exactly, Lillian? Was my first question. No doubt it must sound strange, but there is something here that does not make sense. Are you really Are you really not a ghost, or perhaps you're a witch? Lillian stares carefully at me before laughing softly, closing her eyes. a moment. Then she looks directly into my eyes and she stabs my eyes with the spork. You got you got one of them right, my knight. She pauses. I really am a spirit, but before I was a witch who lived in this place. A spirit? I ask confused. How is that any different from a ghost? To me, it sounded like the same thing. I'm not good. I'm not stepping into that right there. No, I'll let people who see this comment down below the difference between a spirit and a ghost. Uh, but yeah, but